So Chen Long with a good workout against the Austrian, winning by 21 points to 8, 21-10. So the number 2 seed next up on this court will be the number 5 seed. Chen Long through pretty comfortably, really, overall. And now it's Derek Won up against Tommy Sugiarto, followed by the mixed doubles Indonesian matchup. About to make their way out onto court. Derek Wong from Hong Kong up against Tommy Sugiarto from Indonesia. And whereas the last 2 matches, let's face it, have been, although pretty good performances from the players who are up against the favourites, namely Permanova and Raba, but we kind of knew where the outcome was going. We knew it would be a win, and it was pretty comfortable for Simon Awo and Chen Long. Well, the number 5 seed might have his work cut out a little bit here against this young man, Derek Won. 2 players who played each other quite a bit over the past, and 2 players that have plenty of history in this game. Both of their fathers were very good players, and of course, most famously, Sugiarto's father, Ichuk, well, tasted glory here in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
I'm glad Morton's not here, because I would have reminded who he beat along the way.
Oh, tell you what, I was a kid at that time. I was, you know, Morten, big idol, looking forward, and there was so much pressure on him to win that one, and everybody really looked forward and was sure of him winning that one. And then this Ichuk came there and played really well, and I don't think even he thought he was going to win that one. I think it was more or less Lim Swee King. They were supposed to win that one. So famous footsteps to follow up.
Well, Derek's had that as well. Derek Wong, his father Wong Chun Kiat was a Southeast Asian Games champion. His mother's a badminton coach, and there's Tommy, who's not only got to follow in his dad's footsteps, got the pressure of here coming to Copenhagen with that, but with Simon Santoso withdrawing with dengue fever, he's the only representative for Indonesia in the men's singles as well.
Right.
So just stands a little bit. There's Andrea Chiappini on the chair up above. There he is, the Italian umpire. Marcel Schmidt in the chair down below, the service judge. Yeah, he does admit he's carrying the weight of the nation's hopes, if you like, but it's a pretty impressive head-to-head ratio. But the most recent meeting, as you can see, that was at the Thomas Cup. Went to 3 games. And Sugiyata here was saying he is, you know, very wary of Derek Wong. Says his opponent's good at attack. He needs to defend well. Thinks he needs to be patient. Try and counter-attack, attack well when he can.
Ready to play.
Wong has had joy as well over Indonesian opposition in this championship. Beat Taufik Hidayat in 2011. Also former world champion himself. So a fair bit in terms of the background of this match that we've just pondered there. Derek Wong, of course, you know, is on a bit of a high, just come away from winning the silver medal at the Commonwealth Games. Of course, the man he lost to yesterday in the men's singles. But first ever medalist in the men's singles at the Commonwealth Games. A big high for him.
On my right, Tommy Sugiarto, Indonesia. And on my left, Derek Wong, Lijian, Singapore. Derek Wong, Lijian to serve, global, play.
Well, let's see how this one pans out. Derek Wong up against the number 5 seed, Tommy Sugiarto. Pretty good first point. And winner in the end from Sugiarto.
It's a little bit funny sitting here as a Dane, having watched Ichuk Sugiarto play, and then here so many years later is actually sitting in commentating on his son. I don't know if that's good for me. It shows how old I am or something.
Yeah, well, we're all getting older every day.
Well, it's actually, it's a cool story, I think. And it's good for Denmark because they, you know, most badminton fanatics here would remember his dad.
Well, he's interestingly, and I think it's a good psychological thing for him to do, is that they've been watching the video reruns, him and his dad, of what happened here in '99. And his dad told him he should use Copenhagen as the launch pad for his career. Now, obviously, that's easier said than done.
I think Morten would be very happy if you said 99 to him.
It was 91, wasn't it?
I think it was, isn't it? I think it's 80. It's 83.
Really? That is that. Yeah, no, you're right, yeah. 83, yeah.
So,
the first one they had here, yeah.
So, I'm very old then.
Yeah. Listen, I'd have been a boy coming here watching if I was living in Denmark. Derek Wong off the mark. Always hard though. I mean, listen, Derek Wong, if you like, he's lived in his father's shadow a little bit, but he's come out of it now. You know, in a way, he's achieved a little bit more than Dad managed. It's it's not easy, is it? I don't know what your family background was like, Jim, coming into the sport.
Not close to these guys. They just play badminton for fun. So that's more or less how I started playing. So I haven't had this pressure of having had a mom and dad who was good at badminton. They were good at other things, but not badminton. But I've coached a lot of players, especially my club, Lena Köppen, who won in '77, I think, World Championship, and Sten Skovgaard's son, Christian Skovgaard. I've coached him as well, and I know more or less how they feel about it. You know, it starts very early. That is very interesting what they do and how they play, and is there any, you know, do they look alike when they play, and this is how dad did it or mom, you know. So there is a lot of, because the attention is just there. You don't need to do something special to make a name for yourself, because you're already a name because of your last name. So in Lena's case, the dad was, the daughter took a different last name. That maybe is a way to, but everybody here.
I mean, it has its advantage. It helps open doors.
It opens doors, but it also brings in.
Yeah, and then the pressures that it brings, that people go, well, he's not as good as his mum, or he's not as good as his dad. Or
What would your dad think? And would your dad have done that? And, you know.
I mean, listen, you know, Tommy here in the build-ups, you know, all the questions are, you know, everything's about.
They probably got standard answers, you know.
6.
So.
3.
You know, one thing about Derek, I mean, we've seen it already. If he can get on the attack, I mean, he really does whip it, doesn't he?
Another 4, 6. Out. Service over. 7, 4.
Yeah, just catching the net. So that's why it landed short.
Yeah, he's setting a very good pace here, Tommy, I think.
9.
Not really, as you spoke about, that he said that, you know, got some very good attacking game, Derek, and by really putting pace on, and you see that the drive, the left stuff flat, you know, that's not really letting Derek into his favorite game. You see, whoa.
10, 4.
Must say, Tommy is looking really sharp.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty impressive so far from Sugiarto. Certainly been inspired by being in Copenhagen in those opening exchanges. Looks like he means business. 11-4, the early lead here at the first interval.
One 20 seconds. 120 seconds. 11-4. Play.
Had a bit of an injury this year, did Tommy. He had a couple of months out, got injured at the All England on his way to losing his first round match.
4.
After the Thomas Cup, where he played very well, he got to the quarterfinals in Japan, then lost in Indonesia opening round, but got to the semis in Australia. So the form's been good, not brilliant.
4.
Oh, he looks more ready here. I've seen him in a while, I must say. It's a very good lead here.
World number 44 waits in round 2. Vladimir Malkov of Russia, who came through against
Zelensky.
Zelensky, the Ukrainian, earlier today.
But Subiato, yeah, in control.
I mean,
just quicker and
surprisingly a lot. I mean, I still feel that some of those players, which is why I thought, you know, obviously it's disappointing for the fans and, you know, for the Indian fans who wanted Saina to win her Commonwealth Games gold again. But in terms of, you know, what you want to do most this year, I think Commonwealth Games being just a couple of weeks ago, it can be harmful to the World Championship hopes.
That is a kind of, you know, now as a Danish, I've never had that problem because I don't play the Commonwealth.
But Derek Wong, you know, for example,
yeah,
does a lot of
and
matches.
It's just difficult to have such two big events close to each other. And of course, from where I'm coming from, I can't see that the World Championship shouldn't be the one. You know, so. But yeah, it's difficult for me to. But it must be very difficult to train to both the events. I know how much the Danes have trained. As I said, I've been out there a while, you know, and they've been having almost 2.5 months or something like that.
And it's different for the Danes, because they haven't got the Asian Games either coming up.
And vacation before that, you know, to recharge the batteries and everything. You cannot, if you don't have that, you can't tell me that Derek is as good as prepared as what I've seen them been in Denmark or Indonesia, for that sake. And we're right now, well, they could change around. There's been some changes yesterday, but as I look at it now, it looks like they're in different forms. They're in different.
Very different to how they were when they came head-to-head in India in May.
He's just so much faster. So he looks like he's not afraid to rally. Oh, look at that.
Oh, a whisker away.
7-17.
Well, a couple of cheap points given to Derek Wong. But it's a very big lead, isn't it?
Yeah. But he needs to try everything to get himself going here, Derek. So that's more or less what he should be using the rest of this set on. Game. I keep saying set. Game.
I mean, the World Championships have been good for Derek Wong. He, as I mentioned earlier, he did beat Taufik in the... hung there a bit, didn't it? He beat Taufik in the second round. Just before that, he'd actually contemplated quitting the sport. Obviously, wasn't full-time. I think he was also doing national service as well, and just wondered what he was getting out of it, how far he could go. But I think that gave him great belief, beating Taufik in London 3 years ago.
And you would give everybody great belief if you beat Taufik at that time.
Yeah, and so I mean, look, and he's gone on and he's played Thomas Cup now. He's got a silver medal at the Commonwealth Games.
smashes Derek has, but he...
Yeah, look at that. I mean, just so he does. I mean, he gives it a whack and a half, doesn't he?
18.
I mean, it makes a thudding sound, doesn't it?
It's the only little breeze we can feel up here. Well, it's just amazing, but it just shows you also that Tommy Sugiyato is ready, because he's defending it. He's getting quite a few of those back. And there we have one of these incidents we had yesterday where the umpire wants to speed up the game. And that's going to, well, with the humidity and the heat we have here, that's going to be an issue the further on we get to this tournament, because players are going to be sweating more. It's be longer, more tight games. But this is really good for Derek Wong. You know, still don't think he's going to come back from this one, but he's going to have belief going into the second game.
Service order. 19. 12.
Interesting match going on while they take a little breather here on the other court with Sean Wan Ho up against Bruce Leveders, who it was the Frenchman that took the first game there. It's going the way of the Korean in the second at the moment, but good battle nonetheless. Sugiyato here has brought up 8 game points.
Game point. 12.
Speaking on Commonwealth Games, we can see in the other court as well, there's the Scottish pair of Blair and Bankier is in trouble. So there could be something to this.
Meanwhile, the Adcocks won pretty comfortably, didn't they?
Yeah.
And, well, it has to be said, Sugiyato, though, has taken that opening game pretty comfortably. As you were mentioning there, Jim, maybe a little bit of hope. A few points won by Derek Wong towards the end of that game, but it really has been a very dominant, top-class performance, you have to say, from the only Indonesian representative in this men's singles of the World Championships, Tommy Sugiyato, taking that game 21 points to 12.
Welcome, technical official, number 3. The umpires, Denmark, service judge, Lindor, United States of America.
Well, more of the same, I think, is what Sugiyato will be hoping for here. Winner of his first Super Series title last year in Singapore.
120 seconds.
And a couple of finals around the turn of the year as well. One in December, one in January. Lost to Lee Chong Wei in both of those.
Second game. Bubble. Split.
Well, tight net shot brings Sugiyato a quick opening point in the second game here. He is very businesslike, isn't he? And Derek Wong can't afford to find the target as he did there. they got to a 4-love lead in the opening game.
Yeah, he's just sending a message from the start of this game. And again, he's putting Derek under so much pressure that we don't see the Derek we saw at the end of the first game, that the attacking type, you know, the big jumpsman, because he's just been moved around that quickly, and every time he does play the backcourt, Tommy, it's with these flat lifts he really can't get into, so his defense is better.
Service over. 1-4.
That's a good lift.
Service over.
When he's then finally into the rally, he needs to try and stay away from that mistake. But of course he's under pressure, so he's of course trying to play that so close that he gets that lift for his big smash.
Service over.
A couple of errors at the net from Tommy Sugiato here.
Just wide.
Service over. 6-2.
It was interesting comparing Sugiato's display here to maybe someone like Chen Long.
Yeah. He's totally different.
He seems very, what's the word, clued on right from the start, doesn't he? Sugiato.
Of course, you have to remember, we would have to see Sugiato against Luca Raba. But then I still think we would see that Tommy Sugiato. I think it would be different. But that smash there, Derek's got, that's a beautiful thing. But then some of his own medicine there.
Service over. 7-3.
It was a pity for Simon Santoso, wasn't it, that there wasn't another Indonesian representative. He's been playing so well in the last 4 or 5 months after being left out of the national squad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unlucky. And he's been working so hard for it. And he was a big outsider in this tournament, I think.
Yeah, but
he would have been, you know...
No one would want to have faced him, would
no,
they?
Definitely not. And I don't think Jan was particularly happy that he was going to go through him. So, but most of all, really unlucky for Simon. It's also a great player to watch play.
3.
Good aggression again from Sugiato.
3. Service over. 4-8. 4.
He looks really, really good.
And what's interesting as well is there's no, I'm 4-love up now, first game. Maybe I'll just quiet it down a little bit. It's all out aggression at the moment.
Yeah.
One thing you might say is maybe it'd be good to see him mix it up a little bit more. But it's obviously working very well for him. I mean, he's playing a very good opponent here, isn't he, in Derek Wong, and he's just pounding him to the ground.
Yeah, you must say that. That's good. It's good for Indonesia.
10.
It's good for badminton also. And generally, Indonesia very important, I think, for badminton.
And of course, it wasn't just Simon Santoso who's been a blow to them in the build-up for the World Championships, you know.
Asana Sityawan and Liliana Natsia and Akma. So, yeah. You can say last year they had a really good World Championship. I think they've been having a good season as well.
Yeah.
And just ran out a little bit out of luck here. But that was an amazing cut smash we saw from Tommy Sugiyata. What you can see here is he jumps up and instead of hitting straight to the shuttle, he kind of cuts the shuttle. And you can see Derek has no idea where that's coming. And it is even hitting the line. So look here again. There he cuts it. And you can see almost see on the legs of Derek, he thinks it's coming over on the other side. Unbelievable.
So 11-5, the interval lead for Sugiyata. There doesn't look any stopping him, at least today.
120 seconds. 120 seconds.
It's difficult to coach that one.
Seven, 5. Break.
Oh, well played by Derek.
Service over. 6, 11.
Yeah, you see the pressure he puts on Derek. Oh. And he's just putting him under so much pressure. You can see Derek is doing everything he can there, but he just can't help doing mistakes because he's under pressure constantly. See that little bit of that lift is not a long high lift. It's kind of like putting him under pressure all the time, and that's forcing him to go for it too much. And you can see that's a mistake. It's a nice try though.
Well, it doesn't look like there's going to be a fight back here from Derek Wong. It's not for the lack of trying, though, is it? Just there's no let up in the level, is there, from Sugiyata?
Credit to Derek. I think he just looks like one who's really on, but he's just up against a better player today.
6. Service over. 7-14.
Some great net rallies they have, these two guys. And then there's the cut smash again.
Service over.
Very effective.
15-7.
Just this tight net shot meant the lift was too short.
Service over. 8-15.
Good rally there from both players.
9-15. Service over. 16-9. Service over. 10-16.
Tremendous power.
I must say, both the players, it really sounds, sounds
17.
crazy sitting up here and listening to it.
Well, they're obviously getting it right out of the middle of the racket.
Yeah. Sweet spot, can you say that?
Yeah, the sweet spot. Well, the finishing line getting ever so near now for Tommy Sugiyato. It was a question of when, not if, really, given the way he's been playing. One of those days where he's just looked top-notch. He obviously will hope he's going to continue to have those kind of days. Lovely drop shot from Derek Wong prolongs things.
11-18.
Oh, it's a great defense by Derek.
Well,
And he needs some of those points if he's to make a comeback. Gotta bring out some of the absolutely best badminton he can play. Even take some chances here and there. It's the only way back in this match. And there again. So he really needs to go for it.
18.
Yeah. It's a wise choice by Derek not changing that shuttle.
Service over. 9-10, 13.
Always going to be punished, and in pretty quick time, you have to say.
13.
The match points have arrived, plenty of them too, for Tommy Sugiato.
I was just about to say, you can see Sugiato is in control, but when Derek pops up with that incredible jump smash. If we see that in slow, you can see he's almost generating power from nothing, you know, just jumping up and getting that crush.
Oh, beautiful winner. First-class performance. Excellent play from Tommy Sugiato here. And I wonder whether he can continue that kind of performance as the week goes on. Derek Wong says goodbye to the World Championships, but Sugiato comfortably through to round two. Vladimir Malkov awaits in round two, and you'd have to make him a big favorite in that one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, with the way he plays today also, then Malkov has to come up with something, because I would rank Derek higher than Malkov, so looking good for Tommy Sugiato.
So the Indonesian safely through to tomorrow's second round. Very good, solid display. 21-12, 21-14. Take it. So confirmation of the performance there from the number 5 seed, Tommy Sugiato. Drive there for Indonesia, as you can see there.